All right, so the AbaThembu King Buyelekhaya Dalindyebo has thrown his support for the EFF in the upcoming local government elections. He encouraged residents in Umtata this past weekend to do the same, and he thanked the EFF leader Julius Malema for promising to buy him a new car. Let's speak to his spokesperson now, Prince Mthunzi Ngonyama. Prince Ngonyama, thank you so much for joining us on the lead on eNCA this afternoon. I thought the king was supporting the DA. Wasn't he a member of the DA, and when did he move to the EFF?
Well, he said it during the interview yesterday that he did not really leave DA. It's the DA that decided to end that marriage with him. And I think that's at the time when he had to start to serve the sentence, and the DA was not willing to be associated with him. And then he said, no, it's fine, I have no hard feelings. Then that's how I left the DA. And I think he did say, even now he's not joining the EFF. He feels it's not necessary to join any political parties. He wants to be neutral, because he leads a nation of people coming from different parties and so on. So, but he is saying he's supporting them. He would like people to vote for them. That's his reason, but he's not anyway compelling anyone to do so.
What are his reasons behind the support? In other words, what is it about the economic freedom fighters that he supports? Is it the policies? Is it the commitments that they're making that other political parties are not supporting? Other than the DA, because you say it's the DA that decided to leave him.
Well, how do I put it? There's, among all the political parties, it's difficult within perhaps the parameters of local government and national government going up to assure us our sovereignty as kingdom, where we have all laws being protected, because they work within the constitution themselves, you know. So you will find that at some point there's always going to be that limitation in terms of what the political parties can do to protect the interests of the king and his powers, and to have the king at least have a power in the judicial system of this country, where you see every time when the king goes there, he's going to be recused as minister, so and so, because they don't have a king in their framework. So that becomes the trouble. But with things surrounding issues of development and so on, and he was a member of the ANC, he's been in the struggle. He felt he gave the ANC a chance, he gave the DA a chance. Now he felt he should give, EFF a chance. And EFF has been there at the time of King's persecution, I would say. They were with us when we were running campaigns. They mobilized each other, and they were with us when we were praying for the king release. Dalindyebo was mandated by EFF. He's been helping the king at some point without even getting paid for his fees. So it's not like it's just something that's started now, you know. So that history as well. It has, I must say, maybe has added to the EFF's advantage to have King supporting him. But I like the fact that you said that he's not forcing anyone. For one, I am the member of the ANC, I'm a card-carrying member of the ANC, but I'll never say when the king decides otherwise and say I'm no more his spokesperson. I must respect and support what he says. And then, like he said, he does not enforce anyone to do that.
Yeah, he told his supporters there, as he was endorsing the EFF, that the leader, Julius Malema, promised to buy him a new car. When is he expecting that?
Well, Malema promised to give them that car after the election. There's a car that he got from government. I think the N4. sorry, X5, not X4, sorry.
Well, he said it's a Mercedes
that he
Benz
got
ML.
from the provincial government. That's a car that he says is not suitable for the status of the king, one, and sometimes it's not easy to drive that car, given the nature of the roads in the rural areas, and it's sometimes not fit for the purpose. So he is happy that Malema saw it necessary, at least, to give a king a car that is deserving of a status of a king. And that will make the king to reach and access his communities, his families,
yeah. So
his people wherever they are.
Is the king unable to access those communities and do his job with the X5 that's been provided by the provincial government? So are you saying this Mercedes-Benz ML is deserving of the status of the king, and that's one that will enable him to go about doing his duties and what he's getting paid for?
Well, the king can use any vehicle to access his communities, his people in different areas. And there are a lot of vehicles that he can use to get there. But of course, there are different functions. Sometimes you go at the place where people are, and the normal, not always the time accessible. Sometimes that car will be used for private matters or attending funerals, for example. So if one is giving a king a car, it just adds to one of king's needs.
So he's not being bribed.
So it will be helpful in a way.
Yeah, sorry, Prince Ngonyama. So he's not being bribed for a vote, because there are some that are watching this development and saying, hold on, the king is here urging his followers to vote for the EFF. And I mean, he then mentions that the EFF has even promised him a new car. The EFF hasn't promised that community anything except, of course, the promises that it's making post the 1st of November. But the king is going to be getting a car, and that's seen as mostly almost like bribing the king to get his support and the support of his community.
I won't say that, because there's a long history with the EFF. Not only when we are now facing elections, like I've mentioned.
All right.
And EFF leader has been since the king came he came back home. He's been trying to get an appointment to see him. Maybe this is something that he had it for such a long time. And I don't think, honestly, out of all the things that you think we can use to bribe the king, we can just use a car.
All right. Prince Ngonyama.
So it's not that you'll have to lose if he can accept such, if you call it a bribe then.
Yeah, we out of time.
This is just
I apologize for coming in there. I'm out of time. But thank you so much for making time to chat to us here on The Lead. And that's where I wrap it for the Monday edition of The Lead. Thanks for watching.